Something good happens, a compliment, a win, a relationship that's actually going well. And within minutes, your brain is already looking for what's wrong with it. Not because you're ungrateful, because some part of you doesn't know how to exist in a state it hasn't been trained to survive. Don't get too comfortable. Something's about to go wrong. You've thought that in the middle of a genuinely good moment, more than once. Maybe you caught yourself doing it during a great week at work, wondering when it would fall apart. Maybe it happened on a good date, where instead of enjoying it, some part of you was already bracing for the version of this person who eventually disappoints you. The moment felt good, and somehow, that made it feel dangerous. Here's what nobody tells you. Your brain isn't wired to make you happy. It's wired to keep you alive, and for a lot of people, unhappiness has quietly become the thing that feels the safest. Because it's familiar, predictable, and it never catches you off guard. There's a mechanism behind this called negativity bias with a twist. Not just noticing bad things more, which is the version most people have heard of, but actively seeking them out once a pattern of unhappiness has run long enough. When distress becomes your baseline for years, your nervous system starts treating that baseline as home. Calm doesn't feel like relief. It feels like the quiet before something goes wrong, because in your history, quiet rarely lasted. So your brain does something strange. It manufactures the tension it's used to, just to stop waiting for it. It picks the fight. It finds the flaw in the good thing. It answers a neutral text message as if it were an accusation. Not because the threat is real, but because manufacturing it feels more bearable than the uncertainty of waiting for one that might never come. This is where hedonic adaptation comes in, the psychological process where any new state, good or bad, eventually starts to feel normal. It's usually explained as the reason winning the lottery doesn't make people permanently happier, or why a dream job starts to feel ordinary after a few months. But it works the other way too, and this is the part almost nobody talks about. If you've lived inside anxiety, self-criticism, or low mood long enough, that becomes your normal, and your brain doesn't actually chase happiness the way people assume. It chases normal. Whatever state you've occupied the longest becomes the set point it quietly tries to return you to, even when that set point is misery. Which means if unhappiness is what's familiar, some part of you will keep steering back toward it, even while consciously wanting the opposite. You can want peace with your whole heart and still feel your body relax more around chaos, simply because chaos is the language it learned first. There's also a quieter identity component running underneath both of these, and it might be the hardest one to see in yourself. If you've spent years being the person who's struggling, the person who's anxious, the person things don't work out for, that becomes a kind of internal role, the same way being the strong one or the reliable one becomes a role for someone else. And roles don't just describe you. They start to feel like the thing keeping your sense of self intact. Ask yourself honestly, if you woke up tomorrow and the anxiety, the self-doubt, the low mood simply vanished, would you know who you were without it? For a lot of people, the honest answer is no. And that uncertainty is enough to make the brain quietly protect the very thing it claims to want gone. So, when happiness threatens to replace the role, some part of you resists it, not because you enjoy suffering, but because you don't yet know who you are without it. This is why people sabotage good moods they can't explain, why calm feels unbearable to sit in, to the point where some people will pick up their phone, start a conversation, or create a minor crisis just to have something to manage, why some part of you keeps finding the flaw, the threat, the reason this won't last, not because you're broken, but because your brain is running a very old, very literal instruction. Don't get comfortable. Comfortable is where you get hurt. That instruction made sense once. It might have even kept you safe in an environment where letting your guard down really did cost you something. The problem is that the environment changed and the instruction never got the update. It's still running the same protocol on a threat that isn't there anymore. And this is exactly why willpower alone rarely fixes it. You can't out-argue a nervous system with a pep talk. Telling yourself to just be happy doesn't touch the mechanism, because the mechanism was never about logic. It's about safety, and safety is calibrated by repetition, not by decision. Which means the way out isn't forcing positivity. It's slowly, deliberately giving your nervous system new evidence, proof, repeated often enough, that calm can be trusted, that good things are allowed to last, that you don't have to earn the right to feel okay by staying on guard. Your brain isn't your enemy. It's protecting you with outdated instructions. The moment you recognize the pattern, you can begin rewriting it. If this video changed the way you see your own mind, subscribe to MindraftX, because sometimes the biggest prison isn't the world around you. It's the story your brain keeps repeating.